Hello and welcome to another episode of the Back to Warcraft podcast. It is July 15th, 2021, and it is episode 17. 17 of the Back to Warcraft podcast, our weekly special. We're doing this thing, man. We are doing this thing. The reason why I'm always laughing at the start is because we do this weird synchronized clap bullshit. And for some reason, Neo doesn't know how to count to 3, and fucking Neo doesn't know how to clap properly.
Dude.
And he's always like, no, it's not synced up. Hold on, this is my time, and then you can come in. And he's like, we have to do like 15 claps, and then I'll look at him after like the 4th clap, and then he gives me that look of like, let's go. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So Neo, hello.
Hello.
We need a better system.
Yeah, we kind of need a better system, that's true, but I don't really know how to do that. So what we do is like, you know this from movies, right? When the director is having this clap thingy in his hands, like 3, 2, 1, clap. So you have the audio synced up. And yeah, today it took like 3 attempts, but okay. First one was kind of my bad, but you also didn't count very well. That was one of the weakest approaches. Second time we tried this, you didn't even clap properly. You just put your hands together like this. There was no proper clap. I know a proper clap when I hear one.
Give me a proper clap.
That's a proper clap.
Stream didn't hear the audio won't hear that, but that was a good clap.
That was a good
top
clap.
Top 5 clap. Yeah, but yeah, I think I don't know. I just thought people were gonna wondering what the hell are they laughing at the start. But if you're watching the video, it's fucking funny. It's like every week. It's every week we can't get the clap down. I feel like we're already failing.
That's seriously that's the hardest part of the podcast.
I think so. It's just syncing this bullshit up. I just want to talk. You know what I mean? Like I just want to talk. We it's July 15th, so if you're listening to this on YouTube, we just finished a WGL stream. I actually popped my cherry with WGL. I did the Giannis Grand Slam, and that means I've captured every single major tournament to boot. Right? That
Absolutely.
puts me on top of the world, or what was that? You made a nice tweet. I don't know if you want to pop that up for the YouTubers, but you made a very nice tweet today, and it made me happy.
Yeah, I talked about this a little recently, right? That we can use our social media to give praise to people who deserve it, and I did indeed tweet after praising you in our little green room after cast. So I said, only 1.5 years ago, I met Ricky, and today he completed the Warcraft 3 Casters Grand Slam. That is WCG, which you did because you filled in for us for a Moonverse Infi game. DreamHack, obviously, you're there. NEXT, you did as well, and WGL today. So that is something Carson can't say about himself. That is something I think Todd can't say about himself. Because I think he didn't do next. And yeah, that's it. I think it's only me and Remo and you now.
Has Todd done a WCG?
He did. He was with us in Xi'an.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. I'm building up my resume. I'm getting stronger. The only thing that I'm missing is the inevitable LAN professional cast.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough task. But maybe
that's why you got to bring me down like that. Why you got to say it's a tough task? I'm a fucking
because
easy
we're living
hire.
in a freaking pandemic and there's no lands.
Good save. I thought you were making that about me.
No.
Cut it. You're on a tight leash. Very tight leash.
Speaking of lands, by the way, we had a little announcement by Enter. I know that kind of screws with our topics because I didn't really prepare this, but Enter is announcing a land in Cologne, and we'll be going there, not as casters, but just as fans and viewers, I guess. And I will be doing some social activity, like live streams on Insta or Twitch or whatever. I'm gonna be your sideline reporter for that event. It's gonna be in the Experion in the middle of Cologne. So if you're in Germany, come along, everybody. It's gonna be a fun weekend. Xlord is there. Enter, of course, famous caster Slash, and a bunch of other people. So this is gonna be the first proper LAN in Germany since Iron Couch a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's cool. It's kind of like open to everyone. I don't even think Ente's playing. He's going to be casting, right?
Exactly.
He's just going to be hanging out and trying to run the tournament, which I think is awesome. Really great initiative there. And yeah, it's about time we get a little bit back to normal because I mean, Jesus, it's just been so online. I feel like our game has drastically changed with this online thing. I mean, online was always a thing, but like so many like major tournament finals have been online, and this particular game the ping is so important that it's almost like we count them, but we always have that asterisk, you know, next to like if this was a LAN, it would be a different outcome and we'd have different winners. But yeah, it's just it's been a while since that Anaheim LAN, which I guess was the last one, and that was 2020.
Exactly. Not even the ESL Meisterschafts finals are real LAN, as everybody's playing from home. Just we're in a studio. So
yeah, the casters are there. The players aren't. They should have swapped that shit,
dude. Like, to be honest, we're more important than the players.
Oh, that's true. Well, that's true. Yeah.
It's kind. I think. Yeah, I think so. Of course, I think so. I mean, I'm part of it. But
hell yeah, you want to keep that seat going. You better keep flexing that shit. You want to be you keep that shit going. Of course you are. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this is gonna be super fun. Looking forward to seeing Scription and Toxie, two of our longtime Patreons, of course, Axlot and Wan, who we've met before. I meet Chechi again for the first time in 7 years, if he's actually making it. We were together in Yinchuan for WCA. I'm gonna meet Armin, which is gonna be incredible. I hope Hippo can make it, but with the Delta COVID virus in the UK, not sure if that's gonna be possible. But yeah, lots of awesome people, and Side, of course, can't forget about Side. So,
oh my god,
yeah, it's gonna be bang. No Hero's gonna be there. Ugri, I'm gonna meet him for the first time in I guess 5 years. Duro as well. It's gonna be a good time with friends, and looking forward to that for sure. But yeah, we have a big topic that is WGL, and before we talk about matches and system and graphics, etc., we oftentimes say like we're busting our ass, right? And the first big topic that I bring to the podcast here, Ricky, is actually my ass. Wouldn't expect that from me, right?
I don't know where you're going with this, but I'm slightly aroused and very interested.
Aroused and confused, I can imagine. So I turned 32 on Tuesday. And then we had this WGL cast on Tuesday at noon. It went good. I was sitting, of course, the entire time on my old ass. And everything went fine. The cast was really good, I think. One of my favorite casts the entire year. And then I got up and made some food. And then I sat down again to do YouTube and stuff. And all of a sudden, my ass hurts like crazy. It's like something like the big sting. And it just didn't stop. I couldn't sit anymore. I did all the YouTube editing and all the socials, like barely like standing up. And I thought, oh, Jesus, what the hell happened now? I busted my ass. I tore something in my ass. I have no idea. So I checked for hemorrhoids. No hemorrhoids, to assure you all of that. So I thought, okay, I put some medicine stuff on it and take a pain pill and surely...
You put medicine on it?
Yeah, like some cream stuff that when muscles are sore or something, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to say it in English, but, you know.
Little preparation H on the rim, eh?
Yeah, you know all about that, I bet. So yeah, I went to bed, and obviously I couldn't lay on my back because my ass hurt so much. And sleeping was really, really hard, so another pain pill, boom, off we go. And then I woke up the next morning, and it was even worse. Like, that's not how it's supposed to be. And I then Remo messaged me like, yeah, my allergies are a little rough today. I might sound a little weird. I'm like, dude, my worry is that my ass hurts like fuck. Don't tell me about your allergy problems. So I couldn't really sit longer than 5 minutes because it was hurting so much. So I was just begging for the production to go in-game so I can stand up again. Not hurt.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And now I bought a pillow. Like, it's getting better, by the way. I bought a pillow, like the one you get when you have hemorrhoids or something. So
it's a donut pillow.
Yeah, kind of like a donut pillow, a little bit next level.
Oh, yeah.
Freilagerungssitzkissen right here. So yeah, 32 years old, need an extra pillow for my ass. I'm really old now.
Yeah, you know what? It happens, man. I've talked about this on the stream a lot. I have like a really bad back issues, and I've been trying to, like, I got a pillow behind me, and I permanent pillow. I have to have this because it'll just hurt me up. You know, like it's like lower back pain, but then it kind of goes to like my ass too. And I'm always sitting. Like I sit in the crane at work. I sit when I'm on the computer, which occupies like 22 hours of my day because the other 2 are sleeping. Hopefully. And yeah, it's rough, man. I've never really looked into like creams and stuff. You are like retroactively, you went straight for the fixes. Like you got the donut pillow. You really care about your health, which is good.
Dude, it's my like it's my job, of course, as it is with the crane for you and with casting for you as well. But I was just in a panic. Well, like, what if this stays this way? I have to cast WGL. I have to do the dream hacks, which is like 10 to 12 hours. I can't sit for 5 minutes. How am I supposed to do 10 to 12 hours? And I have to travel to Cologne, so that's like 5 hours in a train. I have to sit there as well. I was really panicking. Plus, on top, it's like 40 degrees in this room because summer in Germany and stuff. So casting WGL this week, hell, absolute torture for my body. But I think this pillow is really, really good. I'm really happy with the pillow.
Do you feel like the support? Like, what does it do exactly? Like,
it just
obviously there's no weight on your tailbone, so it's all like on the outer side of your legs type thing.
Yeah, legs and like the outer skirts of my butt cheeks, I think.
And it's good.
It's really good.
Like instant relief. Like as soon as you sat down, you're like, oh yeah.
I do have some issues standing up at the moment. It hurts a little, but not as bad as it was yesterday. Like, yesterday I took, I think, 4 pain pills or something. And today was just 1, and that was very early on. So I think I'm getting there. I think my ass is going to be healthy again tomorrow or the day after tomorrow.
If this is the first time, you probably just sat on it weird when you were out and about on the birthday day. Like you probably just leaned back on your tailbone the wrong way for like you could do it for like an hour and sprain it or strain it, or I don't know what happens, but yeah, that's rough, man. But you know what? That's probably a good purchase. I might have to look into that too.
It's really nice.
Because like that's like we're on our computers so much.
Yeah.
That like that might be just a good purchase.
It's like 30,
long term,
$30 or something. I don't know how the longevity of this is, but of course I will report on this podcast. Big fan of the pillow. I'm a little worried that if I socialize on our terrace or something, I have to bring that pillow with me for a while, which will look really weird with friends. But yeah, I think you're also the first person I told this, except Remo, of course, who had to know.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm trusting you.
Well, I mean, I'm praying for your ass there, bud.
Thank you. More people.
That's not good though, man. That's like it's painful, and like you said, you're doing. I mean, WGL lately. For some reason, we got lucky today. It was like 4.5 hours, but it's been like 6 hours, 6.5. That's a long time to be sitting, especially in the heat, dude. Were you getting like stressed? Because like with heat and pain, do you ever get like you just like rage out and like have like heat stress waves and stuff like that?
Not really. I thought I might black out at one point. Because it was really hot and I didn't eat too much and probably drank a little too much. That was a very long day and a very long series. And these guys, they're over in China. They do 5-minute breaks max. But before we go into the break, like we see they do a 5-minute break, but we still have to read subs and advertise for support, like a little call to action. And so we have at max, if we're fast, 4-minute 30 break in between the series in a 6-hour to 6.5 hour broadcast. That's rough.
Like even today, we were like, I noticed right away that on our restream, it was already starting the 5-minute break. And I'm like, oh, he's going to want to break. So I'm quickly trying to wrap up. Yeah. And then you have to like summarize. But by that time, it's already like 4:15 left. And we're fucking ourselves out of our break, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I caught on to that right away. I was like, Neo's trying to wrap this up because he's probably have to go for a smoke or he just wants to get up or something like that. Yeah. But you know what?
In this case, like standing up was actually the number one priority.
That's so messed up, dude. I hope it gets better. If you said it's already starting to get better, then that's good. And then that pillow will just be long term for you, which is good. Exactly. You know what? Like that's the thing about Chinese events, man. It's either like you have like 3 minutes or 30.
Yeah,
like there's no in between. True. Like today it was like the fucking most organized shit I've ever seen in my life. And then like sometimes I'm like, oh, we're just waiting 45 minutes for the next game. Okay, I'll just go fuck myself. But like, yeah, it's just like crazy, man. Like there's no middle ground. Like what happened to the good old tenor? You know?
Yeah, right.
What happened to the good old tenor?
Sometimes I feel like if you put 10 minutes on the clock, people go away. I'm usually fine with a 5-minute. That's, I guess, max you can do in a broadcast because people just go elsewhere. Lots of people.
Yeah. No time for a quick poop, though. I mean, 5 minutes is not enough for a quick poop. That's for sure. And
well, if you have diarrhea, maybe. If it just splashes out.
If you just flush it out, yeah. But I get stressed, man. I need at least 8 minutes. If I see a timer with 8 minutes left, I can make that work.
Okay. It's a decent time, I guess. What do you do, like, to... Do you read something?
I sit down and then I push. I use my phone.
Yeah, phone. Okay, so you read something, or do you play games, or what do you watch YouTube? What do you do?
I watch the stream. I watch the countdown and talk to the chat while I'm taking a shit.
Nice. Now people know.
I've done that at least, if I've broadcasted 50 times, I've done that 48 times.
Wow.
Like if I'm talking to you and there's 10 minutes left until start a stream, I am definitely taking a shit while talking to you right now. Like it's 100%. It's a fact. Thank you for asking.
Now people know. Now people know.
There you go.
I'm a reader myself. I always read news or stupid Reddit threads or something. No books. That's kind of weird.
Do you ever do the marathon with your where you just like you check Reddit and then you check Wikipedia and then you check?
No. I'm a quick pooper. I don't need much time.
I just meant with your phone in general. I was changing the subject. Like when you have your phone and you're in bed, do you do like the marathon where it's you check Twitter and then you check Instagram and then you check Facebook and then you check Reddit and then you check like Wikipedia and then you just keep cycling that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sometimes 100 times in an hour.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I probably have a problem.
Well, I did that, I guess, but I learned to not use my phone and the socials too much. That is horrible with Discord, by the way. I use my phone to constantly check on channels. Not doing that anymore. Very, very healthy.
You used to read a lot of Discord channels?
Oh yeah, all of them.
Yeah, I'm like that way now. Like I read everything in the gym Discord.
You'll get there.
I refresh it every 10 minutes, I think.
You don't have to refresh, it's automated.
No, I just mean like I'll open it, check, and then like I'll check again. And it's so much that I'll see like 1 to 2 message updates. Like that's how constantly I check it. Like it's not like 25 plus. Like, you know, when you check on your phone, you have 25 plus, you missed a bunch. It's always 1 or 2. Like I might check Discord channels every 5 minutes.
That sounds obsessive.
It's really weird. And it's not just gym. It's everyone, right? It's all the channels I'm in. But I'm on my phone an unhealthy amount. And that's why I need a social life. Because, it's bad. It's really bad.
Just learn the lesson that I learned last month. Take it off your phone. You're not missing anything.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Any more of these YouTube comments, and I might completely fucking throw my phone in the dumpster.
Oh, yeah, baby. Sure. WGL. Like, this tournament, so far, I really, really like it. It's a lot of fun to be casting with Remo again, which we didn't do for, like, 8 weeks or something. So that is really cool. The games are really cool. We have a new system that we'll probably talk about. But, I mean, I thought this is no news. But apparently, to a lot of people, it's still always news that WGL and Next are always Reforged graphics. Like, do we still have to shove that down people's throats? And I mean, people should know by now. How do they not know this?
So the reason why I get confused, I can understand how people are hopeful that it might change because every tournament started with Reforged, including DreamHack, Reforged graphics, and then it changed, right? So I think people are hopeful, but at the end of the day, this is the crazy part that people don't understand, and I really want the people on YouTube to fucking hear what I'm saying right now. There would not be a WGL if they didn't make the fucking new game, bud. There's no WGL if they didn't make the Reforged game with the Reforged graphics. People are like, why would they have this tournament and not have classic graphics? The tournament wouldn't exist. This is a launch of a game of a tournament, WGL, hosted by Blizzard, to promote the new game with the new fucking graphics. There wouldn't be Moon versus Focus tomorrow. It wouldn't be a thing. We'd be left in the darkness if this Reforged game didn't come out. So be thankful that a lot of other TOs are switching to Classic. I don't even know how they're getting fucking away with that.
I
don't know, but I'll take
it.
But I'll take it. But be grateful that you've still got some tournaments. That WGL is really the only one left.
And next, yeah. So NetEase is the only one next.
And yeah, NetEase tournaments are the only ones left. But like, fuck me, you know, like people are. It's crazy. Like I didn't watch much of the tournament because it's very, very early for me, and I was working nights, and I was getting home basically an hour after you guys started. So I was basically just going straight to sleep. But it's crazy how these fucking whiners basically ruin the entire mood of the week.
Kinda, yeah. It's getting better now. I think it was really just the first day that hit us really hard, or me at least very hard. I'm not too sure how it is for Remo. So we started streaming, and everybody were kind of happy because the design is super cool with the stained glass, with the blood mage and all. But of course, once we started this game, everybody realized, like all of the people who didn't know this is Reforged graphics realized, okay, this is going to be a week in Reforged graphics, and they shit in the chat. It was annoying to a degree that for the first time in forever, probably since the last WGL, we enabled sub mode. I think last WGL we had, for a brief period of time, we had emote mode only because it was so bad, and now we had to go back to sub mode only because it's unfortunately true that people who are no subs are obviously not frequent visitors, and they don't know as much as a sub would, because a sub is obviously more connected to the channel, watches more games, is more in touch with the scene and with the tournaments. So everybody who just briefly visits, sees the graphics, and just repeats a comment that has been stated 500 times in the past 5 minutes. So it annoys us, it distracts from the game, it annoys other people who, of course, are not comfortable with that as well, but they just shut their mouth and enjoy the game. It just brings up the topic again and again and again and again and again. This is why we time out for that now, we delete messages for that now, just to get rid of that echo in the chamber a little bit. And then, of course, so it was the first day on Twitch, but since we have a Twitch contract that tells us to, we're basically only able to upload content that we streamed on Twitch 24 hours after to YouTube. That's a 24-hour time window. And the shitstorm we got on Twitch on Tuesday hit us again on YouTube on Wednesday. So it was a double shitstorm that was really annoying. I don't know if you saw the stories that I posted on Instagram about just how many comments there were. It was like 1 minute of auto scroll just complaining about the graphics. Unbelievable.
And our analytics took a fucking dump, by the way. Our videos, I think, got 50% likes because people were downvoting it just because of the Reforged graphics, which we have nothing to do with.
Yeah, that's the best, guys. Like, screw you, Back2Warcraft, you and your Reforged graphics. Why would you ever do that? Everybody knows Classic is better. Like, yeah, dumb fuck. We know that too. We would love to cast in Classic graphics too. That's why we have DreamHack on Classic. That's why we made ESL Meisterschaft go back to Classic. We did everything in our power to switch tournaments back to Classic, and you fucking idiot on the internet who has no clue at all about anything, sit there in your chair with your fat ass and come to me and complain that I am responsible for Reforged graphics in a tournament from a Chinese multi-billion-dollar company. Are you nuts?
Get him, Neo.
Jesus,
get him, Neo.
Fuck,
yeah,
that annoys
think,
me. And they also talk like they know everything, right? I know exact reason. I know exactly why this isn't Reforged graphics now, because Neo wants it. Because yeah, I enjoy not being able to separate a militia from a footman and a skeleton from a ghoul. Makes casting super easy.
I think people call this Chinese sellouts.
Fuck my life,
we can't win. Obviously, it's a loud minority because we understand that it's like 40-50 people on a video with 1,000 views. You know, on Twitch, it's 20 to 30 people in chat when we have 2,000 views. Like, we understand, but that shit weighs so loud. And like I said, it really just ruins the mood. What pissed me off the most, okay, was it was your birthday on fucking on Tuesday. Okay. And I remember tuning in early in the morning. I just got back from work at nights and I was tuning in for at least the first hour and a half. Maybe I woke up and it was like halfway through. I'm not too sure. But I was checking and it was sub only mode on your birthday. And I was like, dude, like it'd be cool if everyone was like, happy birthday. You know what I mean? Because you're the fucking goat, dude. And you only get one day a year. And I was like, this fucking reforged whining bullshit forced this channel into sub only mode. And I don't want to have to force subbers to say happy birthday. So I tried to unlock the channel. I coordinated with the mod team and I was like, I'm going to try to unlock the channel so people can say happy birthday. And I unlocked it and like 3 people said happy birthday to you. And then it just immediately floodgated again with graphics. And then Courageous put it back into sub only. Bless his heart. Right.
Yes.
But I'm like, fuck, man. Like, you kind of got robbed of your day. Like you're streaming with the boys. I mean, I consider the Back to Warcraft channel, I'm hanging out with my friends. Like, you know, like this community, it's your community. It's yours. Like literally, it's more yours than mine. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you were like shut out from that because of like a handful of morons. That's what I hated the most.
Don't worry about that, man. I seriously, I give a shit about my birthday. Like,
Come on, everyone wants a little bit of fucking ball licking on their birthday. Okay?
No, seriously, I'm not like that at all. Like from Monday to Tuesday, like when it called midnight, I was literally working on WGL preparation until 11:30 p.m. and then I went downstairs and saw, damn, the roommates are still up. So okay, that half an hour I have to spend with them, and then it's like cake and they're singing, and yeah, I really hate birthdays, man. All the attention, all the calls from family members, all the messages from people that really like only care about you on that specific day of the year. Not my cup of tea, man. I'm happy that's over.
Yeah, true.
But
true.
nice sentiment from you, man.
Well, I was thinking about you, man. I was thinking about you. You know, I was obviously pumped about your birthday, and I wished you one before. I wished you one before the day started. What did I get? What's your gift? How about this giant empire that you get at the end of the year? How about my gift to you? You know, my treat. But yeah, I think I was just pissed. You know, like I don't know. You might not care, but I personally care about my birthday, and I think I've done a birthday stream. Actually, I did for Dust League. I think it was May 2nd was my birthday. So I looked forward to that. That was cool. I was wearing a party hat, and I was enjoying myself, and a lot of people were cool, and I didn't have to put it in sub only mode. If I did, I would probably not have enjoyed it as much. So
I got some nice messages on Twitter and Discord. So people were really nice to me, and I really enjoyed spending time with Remo again. And yeah, but it wasn't too pleasant. And then, of course, this entire discussion comes up again. Like, is Back to Warcraft channel too heavily moderated? Are we censoring everything? Are all mods Nazis? Yada, yada, yada. We heard everything 10 million times. And of course, we listen to feedback, but we do everything for a reason. Like, you saw the difference between the DreamHack chat and our chat. And I guess everybody agrees that our chat is the better of the two. And that is due to the way we moderate this.
Yeah, I agree. I think, well, I mean, our channel definitely needs moderation, not just because we get upset as the broadcasters, which obviously we should take number one priority. If you guys are ruining or impeding on our broadcast in any way, then there has to be change. And sometimes, man, the comments do get to us. I know I read the chat all the time, which is a really bad trait. It's a toxic trait that I have.
Stop it, mate.
But I read the chat all the time, especially during a live broadcast. I read all the YouTube comments all the time. And I haven't been able to shake that yet. But yep, I've read them all. I've read every single what's he doing here? This clown doesn't know anything. Ha ha, he got it wrong. Ha ha, bad caster, B tier. Where's Grubby? I've read them all. But yeah, I mean, our channel moderation is fine. I don't even think we need to cover this topic anymore. Those guys do a great job.
Exactly.
There is a system in place. There are rules. It's not like people are just going ham sandwich and banning people. There are actual rules. People are held accountable for every ban and every timeout. And that's a fact, me included. I've had my PP slapped a few times, actually, for a few few times I went over the top. So I definitely think our mod team is killer. It's crazy how much work they actually do. The coordination, the teamwork.
Really,
it's fucking cool, man. It's cool to watch.
I got a little tip for the guys on YouTube. A little, I don't know. It's kind of.
Hold on. We've been trashing YouTube Let me just say we love you guys. It's the handful of it's the fuckers, okay? It's not you guys. But you guys know who we're talking about, all right? I just wanted to clarify because people are going to be like, "Wow, they fucking hate us." No, we hate some, but not like 99%, okay? Go ahead, Neil. Sorry about that. Little disclaimer.
Our channel videos always start with WC3, then the tournament name, then the match, or the tournament stage in between, depends on the tournament. If it starts with WC3, it is classic graphics. If it starts with WC3R, it is Reforged graphics. Can you guys get that into your head? And if you see that it's Reforged, then sorry, but skip it if it's so painful to you. If it hurts your eyes and you can't see anything. Or do it like in the good old days and just listen to the audio commentary. I spent my first 4 years of Warcraft just listening to radio. Make it up in your head. Use your fantasy. Use your imagination. Build the game in your head. It's not that hard.
I agree. I don't think a lot of people knew that, but it's right fucking in front of them. How do you know what graphics is going to be? Starts with Warcraft 3 or Warcraft 3R, and the R stands for Reforged.
Did you know
I was gonna say something else. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I've uploaded a Reforged video with Warcraft 3 though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, well, yeah. I probably didn't tell you because I never thought this would be an issue, but yeah, WC3R, Reforged graphics.
I put Reforged in the hashtag in the description.
Also,
but
nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just muscle memory because I've been uploading so many and I just didn't think about it. But I actually don't even think I've uploaded any Reforged because I said nobody wants to watch it anyway. So I'm not too sure.
We got good clicks. Like this, despite all the talks, we got decent clicks. And if not, we have, how many videos do we actually have on that thing? On that YouTube thing? Let me see that somewhere.
How many videos?
Yeah.
Like total?
Yeah.
For Reforged or just in general?
No, in general.
Oh,
is there
all
a
the
stat?
videos combined?
There should be a stat
There's gotta be. Hold on. Analytics.
I can't find it.
Revenue 16 million. Total videos. Total
16 million. I wish
per month. Yeah, hold on. There's got to be a way, right?
Probably. We will check this out in a bit. Why
don't you just go to the homepage, youtube.com/back2warcraft, and it'll say how many videos are total. Hold on.
Okay. Anyway,
there are. Sorry, go.
Yeah, how many? Did you find the number, Ricky? Give me the number. This is great. This is great podcasting.
Go ahead. No, this is good. This is good. This is really important. I actually want to know. Hold on.
This is the content that people tune into. Dead air.
4,300 plus videos.
Wow. Plus
4,000. Yeah, over 4.3. So it's less than 4.4, but more than 4.3.
6. So if you don't like this for this week, you can watch probably 4,250 other videos. And I don't think you watch them all, so I know it's unpleasant for all of us. I think, by the way, that the biggest issue is the combo of Reforged graphics and the clean feed we get from China, because that is, of course, not as crisp as if we would broadcast it ourselves. If we were in game, I think if you look at the ESL Meisterschaft recordings, everything there was a lot better and a lot more recognizable and a lot more vibrant and just cleaner as well. I think the quenching mod that they use is kind of like doing things a lot better. I noticed that especially on Spellbreakers, who were just completely red in normal Reforged, and now their shields are colored thanks to the quenching mod. So the readability is a lot better, and if this would be better quality, I don't think too many people not as many people would complain, but I guess it is what it is.
You really can't help everyone, man. Like, nope. There's always going to be people that bitch. Also, a big problem is...
Dude, these people, nobody can help these people who are complaining.
No, you can't help them. They're the people that are like, I ordered extra mayonnaise and they only put 3 tomatoes on it. They're fucking useless people. My point is that I don't even know what I'm talking about either. But I don't know. But Another thing that I think is deterring people is, one, it's Reforged, but also they don't have our overlay tool because for some reason NetEase is spending so much money running this, but they didn't think once about actual production value because it's hello. Like what do you mean you don't have a production tool? Like, do they not watch Back to Warcraft? I'll do a fucking seminar with them right now. I'll charge them, an arm and a leg, but I'll teach them how to do their job properly. Like, that's what I thought was weird, was they can't even get the colors matching sometimes.
Yep, but that is an issue for pretty much every Chinese tournament, also Chinese streamers. Like, production
but
value
like top
China
that, I'm just saying, top that on top of graphics that people don't like.
Yeah.
And you're going to have negative reviews naturally, right?
I'm pretty sure also they had a better overlay before. It was probably a different production company. But
I don't think they've ever done they have just the heroes, and then they have both teams' economy and supply at the top, but they don't have like an actual...
I think they at least displayed upgrades at one point.
Oh, maybe that's right. Yeah, maybe you're right. What tournament was that, though?
I'm trying to look it up. Oh, wow, that was a WJL that we still casted from home. Oh, boy, I was young. I don't know. We were there. Was it Happy's win? I'm not too sure. Maybe the year before. That was... what was the company's name? They were so good. And then at some point they switched and the production wasn't as great anymore.
WGS?
No, WGL.
Oh, yeah. But weren't they formerly WGS?
No, that was GCS. But the production company, the really good one, was called VSPN. And then they switched to, I think, Billy or something. But...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then not the number one priority, I guess.
What do you think about the system of WGL?
Dude, yeah, we have like 10 topics on our list and we're already at the 36-minute mark. Q&A as well. System, I already voiced my opinion on Twitter. It's a round-robin best of 2 and it caused so many upsets already, with underdogs taking the one map because it is their map they take, their favorite map. So a 1-1 is way more likely than a 2-0 this time because there's no neutral map really. This is probably the most exciting group stage we ever had. Like, the former round robin group stages were absolutely horrible and really, really bad. GSL systems oftentimes lead to one-sided matches throughout, like especially in the winner bracket semifinal. Like the first round match is oftentimes very one-sided, and sometimes the winners finals as well. And then the lower bracket is where the games get better, but then you don't have the big names anymore. So I really enjoy this. Best of 2 also pretty quick. It's not too exhausting. And yeah, it's kind of weird that there is a possibility of a draw, but I hope they stick with it. It's amazing. Exlord said it's not that great for the players because if you have fewer maps, then luck is more of an issue. But I don't know, man. I don't think luck decided a single game so far. Maybe 1 out of 18. Wait, that's even more maps.
Exlord's terrified to play in Dust League, so I don't think he qualifies to talk about major tournaments that he also drops out of, so fuck that guy.
Yeah, I think that's a really good adjustment. I would love to see double elimination back for the playoffs. They could start on Monday, then have an extra day and make 3-day playoffs. I think double elim is so special, and you could do it if you want to. That would be the only thing that I would change by now if I had a wish or something. If they would grant me a wish, I would say make a double elim. Then we got the best 8 players in the tournament for 3 days instead of 2. Comeback stories in a double elim system are always amazing. Yeah, man, I miss these days.
I think the biggest take in the best of 2, like you said, is players can get their desired map, but also it makes the best of 2 that much more important because if one player wins a map, it can almost devastate you with that tie. Like, you have to win for a tie, and we're already seeing so many players get fucked over because they did lose one map. So I think it makes every, like, I think back to like Dust League groups with best of 3s, and there were so many maps and series that were just a waste of time. Like you said, because it was so one-sided and we just knew what was going to happen. Flash forward, if those were best of 2 and anything can happen and some of the weaker players got a desired map that could give them an edge, fuck, man, anything can happen now. Yeah. And we're starting to see that. Like, look at 15 Sway.
Absolutely. Taking map.
He's in a
of
group.
Low
He's
Light.
in a group with Foggy, 120, and Lawlion, and he's about to take first
And
place.
he's about to take first place. Yeah, it's absolutely possible that happens tomorrow. If you hear that, the games are possibly already done, so we're talking from the past. But there was also an opportunity for Linguagua to do it after taking a map over Sock. Hawk took a map off of Lin. Like, this is super cool, and I think there's definitely a potential that this system gets implemented into more. Like, also, there's less possibilities of a walkover. And if there's a walkover, it's relatively quick and it has a bigger impact. So 2-0 is way more important. Every map is way more important. I don't see the big negative aspects of this. Of course, for a player, it might not be the best, but hey, there's 16 players and there's 500,000 viewers, right? So what counts more?
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
And that is, like, despite the absence of Fly, Infi, and TH, I thought at first, before the tournament started, this might be the least hyped I would ever be for WGL, but it was just instantly, there was electricity in the air, and I thought, okay, it's WGL Thursday, 12 o'clock, let's go. I see that intro, I see the stage where I've been, I don't know, 9 times or something. This is just the Cathedral of Warcraft, and it will probably always be in the Chinese region, and every time people are there, every time I see that stage, it's a very, very special feeling. And yeah, of course I'm missing TH, Infi, and Fly, but it's also cool to see new names rising, like this absolutely flawless performance by Colorful and Chemico so far. Foggy doing great despite being on a whole different continent than all the other players. I'm having a lot of joy. Also, Focus, man, what a baller, dude. Becoming a father on the 14th and owning his match today on the 15th, like, boom. Just like that. He just delivers. Well, his wife delivered, I guess, but he delivers on the battlefield.
He could be my daddy. That's for sure. The way he plays Orc. Yum. But yeah, I think what makes it, I mean, if you look on paper, you see like PCG and you see Linguagua and you see Alice, and I think a lot of people don't know who these players are, but you look at it, you look at the groups and you go, well, these are super one-sided. And then you have Foggy and Hawk deliver, 1-1 against Lin, 1-1 against 120.
Yeah.
Like, this is good. I mean, Foggy, we haven't seen into the future, you guys have, but Foggy's going up against Lawlion tomorrow, and he could beat him too. Lawlion looking like he's looking great, but anything can happen in the best of 2. So
he only needs a map as well. He doesn't even have to win. He only needs a map.
The only thing it makes me want more is LAN, and more consistent, like monthly, bi-monthly LANs, because look at Hawk and Foggy. Imagine if X-Lord, Hitman, Happy, more players could have the chance to go and see how they compete. Like, I think, what? I really do think that these big finals need more than 2 Western slots at this point.
But no, like, not as long as it's online. Like,
right.
But
like,
in the qualifiers,
offline, I think it should have 4 minimum.
But would you take away from the local Chinese player base, or would you take away from the Koreans?
Local Chinese or Koreans, aren't they the same?
Yeah, I mean, the local Chinese audience or the Koreans. Of course, they want to have
12-4 is still a giant.
There's also expenses. Like, you have to fly them in. That's so much more expensive than a Chinese player who sometimes
make it 6.
Sometimes you just have to give him a bus ticket instead of a $1,000 flight.
It's worth it though. I'd pay for it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Especially in this online format, like, it's basically only Foggy and Hawk, with Blade being banned for his absolutely mischievous behavior and his disgusting behavior last time in winter when he didn't show up, etc., and didn't provide any credentials. Yeah, it's basically Foggy and Hawk competing. Hitman could probably, but I can also understand that he's not showing up there. But yeah, everybody would love to see LAN again, but we'll see when this is working.
Last topic about WGL. I asked this on the stream and you said we're going to save it for the podcast, but how are you getting these translations?
Oh man,
because you're getting them like on the fly. It's like crazy. Is someone in your ear or what?
Yeah, we implemented the system, I think last WGL or the one before. Usually we had Wong in chat and also Vangolia. Wong, of course, the guy who does our translations for DreamHack and runs Scornland Harbor, the news page. And usually they translate it in chat, but that was always a little off. It was delayed and was also putting a lot of stress on them because, of course, there's then this other guy who knows Chinese and immediately corrects them. And there wasn't a perfect situation. So now we have a Discord channel with 2 native Chinese, and they also have the clean feed. Sometimes their clean feed is even faster than ours. I have no idea how that works. But Wong is helping a lot, organizing for War 3 Station, for example, so he got access to that feed, and he's just translating for us if he's available. Like, of course, sometimes real life is more important. Sometimes we can't get the translation. I think that happened once now, this WGL. But he also keeps on telling us, like, okay, there's a technical difficulty, you need to store more time. He's like a mini producer when it comes to these interviews, okay? Like, here's an interview, we skip the interview, go to break immediately. Like, Wong is amazing, man. That's really good. And so it appears like I'm fluent in Chinese thanks to him.
So is he translating both, or like you said, there's like 2 people and him? So is one person taking the interviewer and the other person's taking the interviewee?
No. Whoever is around just does both.
So he'll just say like interviewer with a colon, and then he'll translate it, and then he'll say focus says.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's perfect, because it's like really crisp, like it's on the fly.
Yeah, it's super fast as well.
Yeah, it's good.
It is.
Daddy likey.
And I think for the Moon interview, we had Laden stepping in, because there was when Wong wasn't around and the Korean caster Laden came in and helped us out. That was super nice of them as well. And of course, for Foggy and Hawk, we don't really need that.
Poggers.
Because they talk English. Damn, 46-minute, man. Time flies by.
Why are you always looking at the clock? Stop looking at the clock, man.
I want to finish it in like around an hour.
Why? What do you got going on?
Dude, I want to.
Don't you want to hang out? Don't you want to hang out?
No.
Yeah, we'll wrap this up. I know you probably have more back end shit to do before you wake up again tomorrow.
Yeah, I just want to chill for a bit. Like, I had 3 days of WGL prep. Like, after the cast is done and YouTube is done, I do my statistics. I have spreadsheets for every day, for every match, like with tournament history and greatest achievements and ELO rank and ELO development and the result of the players on this patch against this race, against the players, previous encounters. And I have to dig all that information up, right? So usually I'm sitting here with pain in my butt until close to midnight and do these spreadsheets to be prepared, because WGL is special and I want to be as prepared as possible. That's why I'm wearing a freaking shirt on stream as well in 40 degrees. But yeah, gotta give it all, man. Gotta give it all. And today I could actually go to bed a little earlier if we wrap this up in time. But we have a lot more. We have more questions as well.
Do you have an easy time sleeping?
None of my ass hurts like.
But like as soon as you're in bed, you're sleeping?
No, I'm listening to podcasts. Or do you toss and turn
for like an hour and a half?
Watch some YouTube videos. I fall asleep to, I don't know, some stuff. Usually I fall asleep the best to wrestling podcasts. I don't know why.
Which one? Steve Austin?
No, I listen to Figure 4 Online, Wrestling Observer.
No way. The Figure 4 lag lock. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, Ric Flair. Woo!
Yeah, there you go. He's wild, man. He's wild. Woo! All right, well, I hope you get to sleep soon. You want to take some Q&A then? That was a good one. I think we covered a lot of good points.
I think so too. We wanted to talk about DreamHack, but we can talk about DreamHack prior to the season. This weekend is the close qualifier. It's going to be a long day of Warcraft, Saturday and Sunday. We wrap up WGL and immediately jump into the DreamHack qualifiers. I'm very, very happy, just very quickly, that we see Dice again, that we see Starbuck again, that we see Terra this time, that Spiral is back, Starshaped is back, Kevin Schwem, the freaking German legend, made it through the open qualifier. That was tons of hype. And I'm really, 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 really happy about the list of players. Also, Darkness, that's a guy from the German community I know. And after the qualifier, he said, dude, I only wanted to sign up to raise the numbers of participants, as Neo always says on Back2Warcraft. And all of a sudden, I'm in the close qualifiers. Like, I made it through the bracket. Boom, success story right there. I was so happy for him. And the entire Rocket Beans Discord was cheering for him as well. That made me very, very happy to see.
I like when you're happy.
I'm still very, very happy.
That's good. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I like the new faces. It's good to see that we've been like really fucking sign up. You never know what's gonna happen. Just sign up. You never know what they fucking suck at making brackets. Just sign up, play plebs. You're gonna get the free spot. Like, you know, and then finally, you know, people sign up, and there you go. Darkness and DreamHack. So
as if we would lie to people, we're always telling the truth.
Exactly. We'd never lie to you guys.
Never.
But let's take some Q&A and then we'll call it a day.
Let's go. We'll start if you want to send in your questions, by the way, you can become a Patreon and you get access to a special Discord channel. And if you want your questions for the podcast, then that is your way. You're missing out if you're not a Patreon. Just saying.
Sign up today. Patreon.com/Back2Warcraft. Okay. Question number 1 from Save Orcas. When can we expect to see Hitman competing with top Asian pro players in top level tournaments? Oh, that's a good question. You know, I am manager of Dust Gaming with Hitman. Talked to him a lot about this. Obviously, I want Hitman to play in everything. And when I see him not, I mauled and I get mad at him. And then he tells me to shut up. But I've talked to him about this. I've talked to him specifically about WGL and other things. I texted him actually right before this podcast, and I asked him this question to get the answer straight from him. And his answer was, what? Oh, this is from your podcast? Jesus, people actually tune in for a Warcraft 3 podcast run by you? Yikes. So he didn't answer me. But I would say that if I had to get... I swear to God. I swear. I had this... you know, I've talked to him about... I've talked to him about this, and yeah, well played, Victor. Well played. The ping is an issue, and it affects his confidence in a tournament, especially a tournament where top 8 get paid. If there's 16 players, that means he has to come through a group. If he gets an unlucky group with the ping, he doesn't feel confident enough that he can actually win out to make money, to make it worth it. Despite, you know, me saying, dude, you still trash some of the top Asian players on NetEase, but you know, the NetEase thing is a big problem. Another thing is he has a full-time job. Well, I think it's a part-time job, but he has a job. And these events run from 3 a.m. his time until about lunch, meaning he's going to have to call in sick for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. It runs throughout the week. It's very unfortunate timing. So I think it's definitely a schedule issue, as well as a lack of confidence issue. But maybe we'll chip away. Maybe one of these times we'll get him to play and play on NetEase. And, you know, I think starting next year with everything opening up, if we get that taste of LAN, maybe people just open up in these major tournaments, figure out a way to make it work. But as for Hitman's a no-go, bro, until conditions get better for him.
Yeah, I don't
follow-up question. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't really know what this hype is about anyway. I mean, in Dust League, on relatively fair conditions, he lost to Alice, so he would just get trashed by better people than Alice.
Be careful, Neo. Hitman will destroy. I mean, his weakest matchup is against Elf, but don't get mistaken. Hitman will destroy if he plays WGL.
Well, we'll never know. I only see the one result versus Alice and nothing else, so I'm judging.
And this is why I keep telling him to play, because there's fucking haters and doubters here, haters and millions and billions.
Well, you never proved this wrong, so.
Washed. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Honestly, I mean, he is a ladder hero until he actually shows up to something big. But I also think that he, it's weird, right? Like there is the ping problem. So if he loses, people can blame it on ping. So I also tell him, like, you have nothing to lose if you play a WGL, because if you go 0-2-0-2, you could say, yeah, I'm playing on unfair conditions. And if you win, you look like a god. So I'm not sure. It's a confidence issue. And then it's like a time. Is it worth my time? And for him, he'll play 6,000 games for free on ladder, but he won't play 12 games over a week.
Also, 3 a.m. is really rough compared to what fucking Hawk do. For them, it's like noon. So that's totally
I think it starts at like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. for them, right? So it's like pretty convenient.
Yeah, and like 3 a.m.
Or no, it starts at
like hard.
Yeah, it is hard. It's tough, and you know, there's that. Follow-up question is, what is Arc doing? Is he competing these days? So I don't really know. I don't talk with Arc anymore. But
I thought you were best friends. For the podcast listeners, Bidu is shaking his head.
Yeah, no. We don't really get along. He talks to Carson though. We haven't seen him in the weekly cups. We haven't seen him play in anything but the last DreamHack.
He dropped out of DreamHack 4.
Yeah, so he played in summer, but he dropped out of fall. And to be honest, when he played in summer, he was grinding netties under a Smurf that nobody knew. And he showed up to summer, and I thought he played really well. I thought it was the best arc that I've ever seen, to be honest, but it still wasn't enough to make a dent. So he didn't play, and in DreamHack Fall, he decided to drop out. I never really asked a follow-up on why. I imagine maybe it's a motivation issue. It could also be a scheduling issue. It's a lot of days off. It's a lot of inconvenient time. It's like during the day on a weekday. I know for me, I have to take a lot of days off work to make it work. So I can only imagine that maybe we got lucky seeing him compete. Then again, maybe he's just demotivated, didn't want to play. I'm not too sure. Don't really want to put words in his mouth. I can only really speculate. But yeah, Arc won't be in DreamHack Fall, and it's a big loss, man. Like he's a heavy hitter elf. The good thing is, though, Hunter is playing, and Hunter will be practicing on a cruncher type schedule, meaning he's going to grind the last week and then play on the qualifiers this weekend. So we'll see how he does, but some semblance of an elf, because I think, Hunter and Arc are really the only real ones. Saran, he's going to put up a good fight. And then there's obviously La Brazilians that are coming in to fill that slot, but that's a big shoe to fill. I think Arc was a heavy hitter in the region for a long time, and it's a big loss. But as for why, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. It could be motivation, or it could just be scheduling, but either way, he doesn't want to be a part of it. So there's that.
I think he's a little frustrated with conditions. I think even on flow servers, he has bad routing to that. And he kind of blames it on the servers, but he's like the only one having these issues from his region. So it's I don't know. It's a weird issue. It's really not a good connection for him, apparently. So maybe that just frustrated him over the course of a year. Maybe even a little longer, and that finally led to it. But yeah, you never know what happened in someone's real life. Hope everybody is well. Also Amy, even though she doesn't know my name. But yeah, it's a cool family. I hope they tune in. I hope they still follow the scene. Arc, kind of a US legend there, so would be tragic to lose him. I hope he comes back at some point.
I see him in streams.
That's good.
I see him in streams a lot, which is good. But yeah, I hope he starts competing too, because it's a heavy loss for the region, and nobody wants to see that. Rinaldi with some questions here. He's got, Rinaldi, you type these fucking J.K. Rowling novels, and it's so hard to figure out where the questions are, but I did find them. My friend, and we will answer them, okay? Thank you so much for being a patron and engaging so much. This is great. First question, what made you want to be a TO? I was a TO a very long time ago. A tournament organizer, by the way, if people don't know what TO stands for. It's a
TO usually is tournament organizer, but he assumed it is team organizer, I think. Didn't he say that?
No, it was tournament organizer.
Quote by Rinaldi, what made you want to be a TO? That means team organizer, right? Lol, hope that's the acronym. Well, it's tournament organizer.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, he's referring to the team aspect, so I'll try to make this short and sweet. I was a really bad player when I was 13 years old, and I always idolized the pros, and I thought in my head that if I could be a manager during Clan Wars, I can basically wield all of these different players, aka like power, you know what I mean? Like collect them, and like I have Fly now, and I can like unleash Fly and he will win and my team will win. So it was always like without having to do it myself, I can send these players out like Pokemon and have them do my bidding and win for the betterment of the team. So I always loved that idea of like matchmaking and like he's going to be good on this map and I think they're going to play him. So I always loved that, like manager mode type thing. I always liked that stuff. And I was always good at helping players out and listening to their problems because I was a young kid and who like was relatable, I guess. I just knew what people were talking about. I wasn't in it for anything but the players. So I think that's what you have to really love the game. You have to really love the players. You want to help people and you want to be good at, I also had the competition where I wanted to be the best and I wanted my team to always win and every team to lose. And that's where it started. That's what made me want to be a team organizer. But then he explains tournament aspect, right? In the follow-up. Like, how do you get funds? Or some of the challenge best part? Is he talking about like the team the whole time?
Yeah, about the clan.
Oh, okay. So Dust has been around for 20 since 2012. So that's almost 10 years in 6 months, which is very, very exciting. So I started when I was 18. I had maybe $300 in my bank account. And I just wanted to build a family of people that wanted to improve. Maybe they were youngsters like me and they just wanted to be a pro, and we would grow together and make it work. So your question is basically, how do you get the funds? My sweat and blood at the time, it was Subway sandwiches. I was making fucking mean sandwiches to try to save enough money to go to LANs and stuff like that. In fact, I'm pretty sure that when I was 18, I saved $3,000.
Wow.
And there was MLG Rally, and I bought 3 players plane tickets. I took a train because I ran out of money. So I booked the hotel. It was 2 hotel rooms for 10 people. We were all sharing 2 hotel rooms, 10 people. So it was a nightmare, but it was great. I paid for that. And then I flew out the players, and I took a 10-hour train ride to Raleigh, North Carolina.
That's horrible.
I did it because I ran out of money and I couldn't afford a plane ticket. And I'm pretty sure I had $150 spending money when I went there, just like everything towards the team. And it was so bad. And I shouldn't have done that, but it's what you got to risk it for the biscuit. Those are the risks you take when you're a team organizer trying to make it work with no funding. Because you got to be there. That's the way I thought. Like if you're not at the LAN, you don't exist. And I learned that right away, because when we showed up and we actually performed, people started to realize who we were and blah, blah, blah. But at the start, no, there was no funds. There was no sponsors. Eventually, we hooked up with TTE Sports Thermal Take, and they hooked us up for a bit with free gear, with some money to run some tournaments to get some shit going. But that was only a short time, for a couple of years. What are some of the challenges and best parts of being one? When you pick up a player who's like Diamond, because at the time we started in StarCraft 2, when you pick up a player who's like Diamond, which was SWS, one of my good buddies, and he was a team captain for a long time. And he's a Diamond cannon rusher. And then, 2 years later, he ends up knocking out DeMuslim from a tournament. That's some good shit. That was really cool. Just like the moments with the team. And I think I've had that with Neo too. Like when you just meet people in real life, like the LANs are always the best part. Because you kind of just like solidify this long-term friendship, and like you meet and you have a good time, and just like the camaraderie, I think. And then like he's asking, do you keep the money in escrow, shared bank accounts? Mostly just PayPal, but like I said, it's my money just going out all the time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's rough, man. If you're a grassroots TO, team organizer, team owner, it's a grind, man. And if I could go back in time, I would save myself a lot of money and probably cut a lot of corners that I didn't have before. But I learned a lot, and I'm still kind of grinding, and it feels it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
And in hindsight, you're always smarter and would do things differently or earlier or whatever. But made you the man you are. All these mistakes as well.
Yeah, and the reason why, again, like I wasn't good enough as a player, but I felt like I could. I was a good like mental coach, which I still am. Like I was good at like talking people out of series and talking them into like what their mindset should be, and trying to like relax them and prepare them. And when players that were at LANs, I would make sure they were eating well and sleeping well and not drinking, and they would drink on the final day. And I would I was good at preparing them, because I was like, an athlete as a kid, and I remember eating well before a tournament and then waking up early and getting your breakfast and stuff like that. So I was used to that mentality. So I was even at 18, and some of these guys were like 25. I was like taking care of them. It was fucking weird. But no, it was a great experience. And what started that was me being 13 and just being obsessed with the game. So yeah, and just trying to get involved in some way, shape, or form. This is the final question that we'll both talk about together. Finally, why did so many teams fall apart and go bankrupt, especially back in the day? For example, what led to Four Kings' demise? Stuff like that, just using them as an example. Unless you want to know the history or whatever. Did this happen just because of greed and fraudsters and bad actors? I know a lot of players also played for free over long periods of time, where they were promised payments. Unfortunately, this is like a huge problem that still happens today. This is not just something from back in the day, unfortunately. I'll just say first, I don't really know much about the 4K situation. I don't know much about the teams back in the day or why they dropped out. I've heard that a lot of players in 4K never got paid.
Not
and I imagine
never.
it was just. I imagine they did get paid, but they're still like they still didn't get paid. Do you know what I mean? So, I think it's mostly just team owners getting in over their head, realizing that they're in over their head because they want to sign that player, and then they just can't sustain the income. And then rather than just be legit and admit you fucked up, a lot of people just ghost. A lot of people just disappear, and the players are just left with wasted time in a bad position. But yeah, it's a shame. Like there's a lot of different reasons why teams fall apart and players don't get paid, but it still happens today. A lot of tournaments are to blame for that too. A lot of tournaments don't pay players ever, or they pay considerably later, which is kind of ridiculous. But as for like teams falling apart, there's a lot of just bad business people running teams that they shouldn't be running teams, getting in over their head, and it falling apart naturally.
That was an interesting time in esports as everything was so new and so fresh. To give the easiest answer as to why 4Kings and Fnatic and 64 AMD do not exist or fell apart, the answer is obviously Trimble. There was a team organizer, and wherever he went, everything fell apart. That was the curse of Trimble. It's literally every single clan he ruined with his presence. So that's the short answer right there. And I don't know, man. People in teams and tournaments as well, and still are to this day, I guess, super reliant on sponsorships. And now, of course, you see, I don't know, Mouseboards with 5 different sponsorships, and 4Kings especially. I think they lived off of Intel money. I mean, it was 4Kings Intel, right? And then when all these teams were falling apart, it was around the banking crisis, if I imagine that right. So this was a huge esports bubble, and everybody was putting a lot of money into it. That like the sponsors took a lot of money into it, expecting this to blow up. The teams were investing so much, unreasonably much, with money that they didn't know if they would still have that source of income 1 year later, because unlike like a football team or something, you don't get entry fees, you don't sell much merchandise. I think it started around that time that you could sell players, but that was very, very rarely used. So if the sponsor at some day says, yeah, sorry guys, next year we're not doing that anymore, and you fail to achieve another sponsorship, then you're done. And another issue was not really 4K, but it's kind of related. Meteor Makers had an incredible influx of money. I'm not sure where this came from, but they paid Moon absurd amounts of money as like on a monthly basis. And of course, everybody knew how much that is. So in the next negotiations, every player looks at this fee that Moon gets, and of course, all the fees increase. So every clan, every team was paying way above market value and couldn't get that back in. So everybody made mistakes. Everybody was living on a prayer. Everything was super uncertain. And then there was this one thing happening in the world, the banking crisis, and the sponsors said, yeah, we don't have money for for marketing too much, because oh boy, everything is falling to shits. And the first thing that was cut was esports. Like if you have the chance to continue sponsor a football club or an esport club, then of course you go with a football club, because way more exposure. Like back in the day, you were lucky when you had a video stream as well, so that you couldn't even think about Twitch subs or Patreon. That wasn't all there. It was audio casts, couple of ESL casts, and that's it. So it was a very unstable environment, and I think also knowledge was just lacking. It was like people did that because it was their hobby, and some were really good at it because, I don't know, they were just made for it or had a little bit of education prior to that. But many people were just working in positions where they never were supposed to be. That is very different in esports now. You take people from, I don't know, ESPN for a broadcast, for example, and you put them into esports, and these guys know exactly what they do. Does it still have the charm? Is another different topic, but a lot of people did a lot of things right because of lack of knowledge, and one thing led to the other, and then there's one thing that you couldn't predict, and everything falls apart. That would be
I think
my
like
thing.
as a team owner too, like I still am like the owner of Dust, so I always tried to build because dude, I've seen teams fall apart like left, right, and center, especially a lot of the grassroots when I was like coming, like a lot of rival teams that we both started, at the same time, they would just drop like flies because they went in over their head. And I gotta say, it's really easy to do that because like, let's say a big time player like Moon goes teamless, as like in your head as an owner, you think if I sign Moon, we made it. And some people do think that, and they'll just say, you know what, like it doesn't matter, pay him whatever, and it won't matter long term because we're gonna get all the sponsors and we're gonna get all the money, and $1,000 a month is gonna be nothing. But then they can't even afford to do that. But then they sign that player for a month, and then wow, what do you know? You don't have to be the best player in the world anymore. You have no marketability. You're not doing any marketing, and then they can't hold on to them. And then there's all their money wasted on that big time player that they thought was going to be their saving grace, but they didn't know that that's only one piece of the puzzle. You have to also market and social, and you have to utilize that asset. So they just get in over their heads and they spend more than their means and they fall apart. So I think for Dust, it's always been a grassroots. Like I did pay salaries for years, and it was always very low. It was not meant to quit your job and play for Dust Gaming. It was just to help with a little bit of scratch, but it was a means that I could always sustain no matter what. It wasn't a way to get in over my head. Players knew that if you came to Dust, you might get a little income, but you're not going to be like rich. You go to EG for that. You know what I mean? So I think the key is to just have sustainability and use your head to make decisions and think long term. And I think a lot of these owners, especially back in the day, were in that get rich quick mindset, and they thought this move will do it or this move will do it. And they're at the end of the day, it's just incompetence and it's just going in over your head. And I think we saw teams just do that left, right, and center, and that's why they're not here anymore. But like you said, it's a lot of people that shouldn't have been in those positions making those calls back in the day. And a lot of shady shit.
There was so many scammers, dude.
And there was just people who just straight up had no intention of ever compensating the players and just trying to get as much money as they could and then dip. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of shady ass people still to this day, but definitely back in the day before social media could expose them, and back when a WCR post was the way to get their name out there, right? There was no Reddit and shit like that. But I definitely think just a combination of really bad team organizers, team owners in the wrong position, doing some shady shit. Because keep in mind, there were still really good teams out there like Complexities, Fanatics today, Team Liquid. I mean, just a lot of teams that made it through by doing it right and staying true to their selves and stay true to their community and players. So it's not all shady, but definitely that's definitely a reason why back in the day so many teams fall apart.
Hope you enjoyed that answer and it was satisfying for you. If you want to send in your questions as well, if you want to be part of that special channel in Discord, or these special channels in Discord, if you want to have early access to this wonderful podcast, if you want to get recommendations what music to listen to or what movies to watch from the excellent taste that Carson, I, and Remo have, then the Patreon is clearly for you. Boom, there it is. Starting with the Tomato Pledge with the €2 a month, or you can save 10% when you pay the yearly amount right away. Gets you access to the Discord. Theorycraft gets you early access to the podcast and the Q&As. Coach Level gives you the monthly recommendations and priority on that tier. The wonderful, wonderful Profit tier gives you invite to monthly custom game evenings, always last week of the month. Replays analysis if you want to. Shoutouts at the end of the streams. And if you are going to the Midas tier, there's only 8 left, everybody. Come in quick if you want to grab them. You get coaching sessions with Remo and Carson once a month, and the wonderful, beautiful Back2Warcraft VIP chat badge on Twitch chat. And now Ricky will tell all our wonderful Patreon pledgers that they are awesome. Go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah, of course. We got some new ones this month, which is really exciting. Shout out to our Profit tier, Don Delare, and a newbie, Burning Blades. Excited to see him. He's a big contributor to the Dust League, for example. It's kind of crazy. Our Midas tier, which is Teggy, Scription, Save Orcas, with some good questions today. And my boy Nino and Padroot, Jay Gatz, Grinchy Main, and Toxie. And our Golden Goat, which is Canuba Quakes.
The one.
Excited to see you guys. I'm excited to see the new faces in our custom game evening. We should be doing that momentarily. So,
all right, everybody, that's the podcast for July 15. See you next week then with the results of WGL, and a look out to a preview to DreamHack Fall. Have a nice week. Be gentle. Bye-bye.